Hi, this is Ian from Offbeat Studios again. Today I'm working with a program called Ceilings of Sound by AYAIC And this is a fantastic piece of software. It's a hyper EQ, really, and I'm going to show you how I'm applying it to this track I'm working on at the moment. Now, this is one of our own compositions here at the Offbeat Studio. It's called Giving It All Away, and in this case, the drummer, Tobias Haas, was in his own studio in Germany, and we're working remotely with him. So helpfully, he's given us a video also, which is great when you're working remotely because you can see exactly what he's doing. So we'll be referring to that at some point as well. But as you can see here, we've got 3 different setups. Up here is take 1 of Tobias's drum kit, and then I've picked out this section here for take 2, and then at the end we've got another take. And that's because they're all really quite distinct parts, so they all needed a slightly different treatment. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to let you hear first what we're doing. This track's got a lot of elements in it. It's got drums, real bass, some synths, electric violin, electric guitar, and some vocals as well. And this is just an instrumental section I'm working on just now. So let's have a quick listen to it as it is. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do now is to apply some EQ to the kick drum on this section of the track here. So let's just open up Ceilings of Sound. Okay, there's several ways I can use this program. In this case, I'm going to listen through the presets that exist inside there just to give you an idea of what's available. So first let's play our track, solo the drums here. This is a waveform that exists in the kick drum I've already got. But let's go up here inside the factory settings, go to kick, and I'll just pick a random one here. Let's try this blues one. Okay, now I've got the autoconform selected here. That just means I can listen in real time as I go through each of these programs. That one works really well. That's a dry rock one, which is appropriate for this track. So I think what I'll do as well is I'm just going to reduce some of the top end. So I can go into the edit function here. And you can see our white line. This is our waveform that we've just generated. If I hold down Control and Shift and just select these top frequencies all together, I can just move all them down. As you can see, the waveform here is changing as I bring these down. Let's just have a listen while I'm mucking about with that. Quite happy with that, so I'm going to save that as a preset. We'll just call that Tobias Kick 1. Save that. Now I can recall that anytime I want. Let's move on to the snare drum. Okay, so let's just capture the EQ wave from our snare. Okay, so that's what we've generated here. Okay, so now what we want to do is auto-generate ceiling so that we can attenuate that frequency. Then every time we've attenuated after that, we have to click on a conform spectrum to ceiling to implement what we've just done. So these 2 buttons are quite important. So Ceilings of Sound has found a way to really utilise the colours of sound, which, create a musical effect. For example, white noise, which is flat across all the frequency spectrum. Pink noise is much the same as white noise with an accentuated low end. And then brown noise has got even more of an accentuated low end. Now, this program has managed to figure out that if you don't exceed the ceilings of these particular colours, then it'll always sound musical whatever you do with the EQ. And that's really the genius of this program. Now, if we have a look at white noise inside the Ceilings of Sound program, just to see what that looks like. Now, this white line is representing white noise, which is flat across the entire frequency spectrum. Now let's have a look at pink noise. As you can see, it's a bit more accentuated at the low end, and there's a high-end cut as well. So these are the characteristics of pink noise. Let's have a look at brown noise. Now it's even more accentuated at the low end, and there's a little bit more of a high-end cut as well. So it really depends on the style of music that you're doing and what your taste is as to which guide you decide to use for your sounds. I'm going to go with brown noise for the snare here. So now the idea is if I boost any of these frequencies, as long as I don't go above the ceiling, it's always going to sound musical. So let's go with this frequency here and give it a bit of a boost. Now it's also bringing up the other frequencies too. We can attenuate these and try to keep it within the ceiling. Let's knock these ones back down. Now once I've made a change, I've got to click on Conform Spectrum to Ceiling to implement that change as I discussed earlier. So now the sound wave is conformed to that, but now you see as I'm moving up and down, that has no effect on the sound. That's really just to keep us within the ceiling as a guide. It's a little bit complex to get your head around this, but once you do, it's a lot of fun working with this program. Now we're not hearing anything I'm doing at this point, so let's just have a play around while I'm listening back to the track. So anyway, you can go on and on till you get the exact sound you want. The good thing is, you know that if you never go over that ceiling, it's always going to sound musical. So let's just play it one more time with our drummer man. So that's just a couple of ways we can use ceilings of sound. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.